I got to tell you, I'm wondering at what point the left's incoherence will actually start to turn people who are Democrats but still have their faculties of reason away from the party, at least to being independents. How could you be affiliated with this and think you're part of a movement that is intellectually consistent, intellectually worthwhile? The whole thing is really quite stunning, quite absurd. Quite absurd. Not nearly as absurd as the mostly peaceful mechanism. I meant to talk about this before. I just want to get into this. Representative Jordan, we're not going to go too deep into the hearings again. We've talked about that a lot. But Representative Jim Jordan spoke about the peaceful protest line that's out there, and I wanted to get this into the show. Play clip 13.
Are peaceful protests violent, Mr. Attorney General?
No.
Do peaceful protests destroy businesses?
No.
Do peaceful protests injure officers?
No.
Do peaceful protests attack civilians?
No.
Do peaceful protests burn down buildings?
No.
I was, the video we played, it's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch to see that happening in our great country. But there was the start of it was almost laughable, where you have the reporter saying, as a building is burning behind him, it's not generally speaking an unruly protest. It's mostly just a protest. I mean, it's almost laughable when you have the reporter saying, I guess he's saying it's not a fire, it's just a burning building. I guess he's saying it's a peaceful burning building.
That really has become, I think, in many ways, the best distillation of exactly what the Democrat Party has become. The Democrat Party and its media lackeys, I know we always go back and forth, or the Democrat lackeys of the media. I think it goes either way. You can make the case either way. They are really exemplified now by having reporters stand in front of burning buildings, focusing their attention, editorializing with their focus on how most of the people weren't the ones lighting this building on fire. It's really important to establish that. When they will also, they spend how much time trying to impugn and undermine all Trump supporters by saying that a bunch of tiki torch carrying morons in Charlottesville were somehow symbolic of the entire Trump movement, and then they lied about Trump supporting them, which he did not do. Lie. One of the biggest lies they've told about Trump of all. That's a huge one. And it's one that they relied on for years to, people that don't pay very close attention, that have lives to live. And, I don't knock people that aren't spending all their time in this matrix of political propaganda, right? People have lives. I always tell you, listen to this show and, maybe watch like Tucker and then call it a day. I mean, that's it, right? I mean, that's what you get, I think. That's all you need. But nonetheless, I can't help but be furious, frustrated, and, you reach this point where you just wonder how, and it sounds a little bit like, how dare you, sir, I know that, but it's like, how do they feel good about themselves in the media when they do this, when they lie in this way? How could they think that this was, a reasonable position for them? How could they think that they're not a part of the problem? Well, it all depends on what your goal is. Make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs. If you're a Democrat, to elect Joe Biden, you got to burn down a few federal courthouses, apparently. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.